questions for Coach Choice.
Coach, you're a little banged up at your position. How are you conducting practice without some of your players?
More guys, getting more reps. So the guys that are in, it's the only ones you can worry about really. You have to coach them and hope, the other guys get healthy. But we're managing, you know what I mean? Jerry had a couple of plays that he come in today, so he'll meet with me a little more, learn some more in the position. But, as an all, I think we're doing pretty well.
How's Dante doing? He's a guy that could have maybe played either spot, but you're getting a chance to see him at running back. It seems like he's well suited for zone read and that kind of thing.
Doing better. Got some things they need to work on, of course. I always say that, but he's doing better. He's learning the system. So hopefully in a couple of more days or a week or so, he can get better, and see how well he does. But ultimately right here, right now, he's one of the guys that's picking up the offense pretty well and doing the right thing.
How do you go about with a guy like Gervonta who can't go this spring, in terms of just getting him kind of to learn the offense and do, I'm sure he's doing treatment and all that stuff, but kind of what can you do to kind of get him ready?
He better be mentally prepared, because ultimately that's his job. I make sure when he's in there that he's locked in and focused and understand what's going on with the offense, but that's his job. He better know what he has to do. And then he got to get in, as far as treatment as well. And so he's ready to go. He's really excited. He's eager to come out there and get on the football field. So in due time, when we get in, later on in the fall camp, hopefully be ready to go and ready to roll for us this year.
You hear Coach Collins talk about brand a lot. When you talk about the running backs, what kind of brand are you guys trying to establish about yourselves in at that position?
Physical, tough, and disciplined. That's all we are. We're going to be physical, we're going to be tough, and we are going to be disciplined. We're going to hit people in the mouth, blocking and running the football. We're going to protect the quarterback and protect the football. That will be everything that we do. It's the only thing that we can do to be successful.
Coach, it's important for you to be in these guys' ear. Just kind of, I saw you out there really talking to them a lot. Communication, is that big?
Huge, especially, sometimes I don't want to overcoach when I'm out here on the football field, for the simple fact I want to see them make mistakes, because then I can show them, tell them the right thing to do. And so when we out here on the football field, I don't want to coach them sometimes I do, because different plays, you have to. But more importantly, I really want the guys to understand that you can't play running back thinking. You got to play running back reacting. You got to know and know you know. When you know you got a protection or you know where the run's at, you got to be able to know that in your head and process the play and be ready to go. The faster you learn it, the faster you are on the football field, and you're able to make plays that way. So I try to continue to get them to understand situations like 2 minute or 3rd and short, to understand what you have to do in those, in those situations to be successful. Because we got to continue to move the football.
It's been a while since there's been a running back in the league from Georgia Tech, and you were part of a long tradition of guys that kind of really from year to year you guys had at least one guy in the league playing, or if not more. Is that something that's kind of important to you to kind of bring back and
no question.
Get those guys there?
No question. Every kid that's here, every kid that I recruit, I ultimately want them to come in to go to the NFL. I want you to come in to get education. It's very important. But I want football players. That's why you come in here. You're not going to Georgia Tech just for the education. You're going to Georgia Tech to play football. The education is an absolute, it's just an extra gift that you get because of the prestige and how hard, not hard, but challenging the school is. You understand? And so when they come in, I want them to be the best. I want them to be the best in the nation. So I'm coaching guys that want to elevate themselves to be at the top of competition, and that's in the NFL.
Coach, a lot of the players embrace this new system, this new morning workouts, routines, and meetings. How do you guys, as coaches, the energy and just everything that goes on before 8 o'clock in the morning?
Well, it's just, first with Coach Collins, it starts with him, and everything always starts with our top guy. And so we all follow his lead, his energy, and I'm going to have energy. Like, what's crazy is I never have anybody to get me fired up to play the game of football. It's the same way when we coach. Coach Collins is the leader, so we all as assistants and coaches, you better have that fire yourself. And that's what make everybody go, because the players can see if you fake or not. And so when you come out and you have passion, you have energy, it drives everybody. And so now they know you're passionate about what I'm coaching. And so if I tell you or explain something to do, they'll do it. And then they respect you for it. So it's sort of one of those things, man, you just be yourself. You know what I mean? And so as a coaching staff and Coach Collins tell everybody, be who you are. And then everything else will fall in place.
One of the benefits of not having everybody available is some of the guys who wouldn't get as many reps are getting more.
Yeah.
Has anybody kind of stood out and gotten kind of impressed you or anything?
Well, you know, we have a walk-on Keegan. He's maybe 5'5", 170, 165, but he's playing his tail off of me. But he'll never hear me tell him he's doing well. It's one of those deals. But you have those guys and you see them get better day in and day out. And so it's no depth chart. And so you're either coachable or you're not. And you either get better or you're not, because you're going to get reps. And so him to continue to get better day in and day out, it's a pleasure to see. It's a pleasure to see the guys that you say, oh, they want to get a lot of reps, when everybody gets the same amount of reps, and see who can get better day in and day out.
Jemias
Boy was a kid that was pretty gifted in high school until he got hurt, and ended up here. What do you think his potential is now that he's back at 100%?
He's a natural running back. He has to work and clean up on some things as usual, but he's getting better and he's learning. And so the more reps he gets, the more comfortable he'll feel in the offense. You can see a lot of natural ability. His burst is good. He made some big plays here in practice today. So I'm going to continue to stay on him, continue to push the envelope on him, because I'm going to be very over the top with him, because I want to see if he can, you know, to see how good he can be. To see, you know what I mean, to see how good he can be on the field, because we're going to need him this year.
Coach said he wants these guys to have toughness, more toughness than they did last year. Have you seen an improvement in that, and where do they still have to go as far as that goes?
See, what the deal about toughness is, it's not something I can see in a day. It's just got to be continually stacked in and stacked on day in and day out. So you see them get tougher, but you want to continue to see that, because that's with discipline. And so the fact that coming out here, hitting people in the mouth, being able to run, being able to finish, that's all part of being tough mentally as well. To push yourself when you're exhausted, to push yourself when you're not, to always come out here and give 100%. The whole culture we've built is built on effort. And we always tell the players, if you're going to be about something, be about effort, because you can't coach that. You can't understand how passionate I am about the game of football. Nobody can write and say, you're this passionate or you like the coach. It's inside you. It's something you do. And so as a football player, your toughness is how you come out and condone yourself day in and day out. We want to see it continue. It's a day in and day process. So when we line up August 29th, it's go time.
Jerry Howard's a little more of a kind of stiff downhill runner. Kind of how does he fit into this offense, and kind of where do you see him kind of developing? Where does he need to work on?
Just continue to work. We're going to continue to run zone. We're going to continue to do different things. So as Jerry comes out, he's going to have to make sure that he continues to work. He works his tail off. He's one of our best workers on the team. And so you see a guy like that that's very smart, that comes out here and works his best. So, you know, he can do anything he want to do on the football field. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful, and he can run. So we just got to continue to evaluate him, continue to get him better, and see where he falls.
From what you saw for Vontae on film and just in off-season workouts, how do you see him fitting in?
The same. He's going to come in and work, you know what I mean? And so it's hard to see him because you can watch film, but we do a lot of different things that's different than what, you know, the offense that they had previous. So when they get in, how fast he can get to the plays, how fast he can get in shape, because but one thing I do know, he's hard to bring down. He's very strong, he's physical, he's athletic, and so you see a guy with a burst like that, he can do something. And so long as he come in and put the work in, he'll be ready to roll, and he will. He's been doing that for us.
You had your incoming freshman running back here today to watch practice. How important is stuff like that, just to get him to get kind of an idea of what you guys are doing and get that kind of mindset right before he gets here?
It's good. Coming from high school to college, the biggest thing is the condition. Practice, the tempo is very different. And so as far as him and the other guys, they'll come in on Saturday as well. And so them guys to be around and see what we're doing here is important. Because once everybody comes in, now you can see the expectations, the tempo, and how we practice. So when they come in, they're going to have to fill in too. And so they're going to be, the first couple of days, their eyes going to be up. They ain't going to know what's going on, but it's important that they get in so they can see it for themselves, so they can adjust and have some of that experience, you know, by being here.
What Collins was saying something about how you want to get like 50 reps in an 11-minute period.
Yeah.
Here's back when you were playing here, same sort of time frame. How many plays do you think you might have?
Not even close. But it's totally different. You know, Coach Gailey ran, you know, pro style. The practice was totally different. And his is chaos, it's mayhem. But he preaches reps, he preaches intensity, he preaches 100% on every play. And so as coaches, you see the guys and they work and they may make a mistake. You tell them keep going, because the more reps you get, the more it becomes habits for the guys. And, you know, that's one thing he wanted to preach, and that's what we do the same. It's actually been pretty cool to see the guys get reps and see them get better.
You were kind of talking about earlier how this position is more of a feel type of thing, the feel and the flow of the game. Mm-hmm. How much of that is a learned trait, and how much of that is a natural ability?
You can be very great at running back the more you learn before you get on the football field. If I prepare the guys to understand defensive fronts, to understand coverages and understand blitzes and who you're going against, it'll help you play faster. Once you get in a football game, you have to let it rip. And so when we get into practice and they have a certain front and we run a certain play, they need to understand what they should expect. But once they get the football, now it's time for you to let loose and show your ability. And so I try to give them a fine line, because the best running backs I've been around, LaDainian Tomlinson, you know, Marion Barber, them guys knew what they had to do before they stepped on the football field. They had to watch a lot of film. So when they got on the football field, they knew what they, you know, had to do. And so that's one of the things I picked up as a trait, and I'm trying to make sure they understand it as well.
How hard has it been with just the tempo and that adjusting as a coach? You're a younger coach, and you got these split huddles and all the stuff going on. Has that been kind of an adjustment for you in terms of?
First day, I learned fast. It's like when you get in and your first start is against the Steelers, and you got to play the best defense ever against ever, and statistically wise in the NFL. I'm like, oh, it's go time. So once you come out here, once it's the first time Coach Collins does, I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go. And then the next day it's okay, now I'm ready, let's go. You know what I mean? It's a learning period. But like I said, that's how I train my backs. It's the same way. Once you mess up, okay, I'm cool. But don't look at that mistake. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving. And I guess that I want to work the same way I do. So it's going to be fun, because I'm telling y'all, it's going to be a good year. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Anything else for Coach Choice?